Alright, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm looking at Funko's Game of Thrones Legacy Tyrion, Hand of the King. This guy's a Walgreens exclusive. Walgreens, yeah, I know. For the past week I've felt kind of weird just wandering into Walgreens and then walking back out with nothing to show for it, excuse me. And, But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, I do that with every store. I walk into Walmart, walk back, walk out. Cashiers just kind of eye you. But I guess after years and years and years and years of doing it to Walmart, Kmart, Target, Toys R Us, having a new store to haunt, it's a little weird, but at the same time, it shouldn't be, I guess. So, Walgreens, welcome to the list of toy collector stalking ground. So, plus, I don't know, it gives another option. It's just weird. Even when I walk into Walgreens, I can't hardly find anything else to buy when I wasn't finding Tyrion here. It was just kind of, I don't need any pharmaceuticals, so... And so maybe a couple times I bought some. They coaxed me into $1 candy bars. So anyway, Tyrion, man, I'm glad to have this Tyrion. Not that I didn't like the original. It's just, I don't know. This one seems better somehow. The head sculpt slightly different, and I try to find the differences. The hair is nearly the same, but and the sculpt is nearly the same. But for some reason, I don't know. I just like the new Hand of the King version better. It's almost it's yeah. I don't know. This one has a thickness to it that I kind of like, but then I like, the Hand of King better. But, costume-wise, he's more streamlined, I guess. Really, I couldn't tell you. I mean, even if the Hand of the King never came along, I'd be okay with this version. There's nothing wrong with it. But... they did come out with this, so happy Robo. Articulation was stiff as hell whenever I opened the package. I thought for sure I was going to break. Well, at first was every part down the line, shoulders, elbow, hips wasn't too bad. Knees were really stuck, and so were the boot swivels. Now on mine, it's still tight. Here I go. I'm going to break this right on camera. Watch. Even though it was loose just yesterday. But, the top of the boots were turned around, so I had to swivel those around and then bring the foot around. I'm glad you don't have to pop those anymore to turn them around. But, articulation-wise, he's got a ball joint neck. It's side to side. In the package, he came like this. Kind of thinking about shoulders, hinge and swivel. Now there's a sculpted piece that's glued onto the hard plastic of the torso right here to make the kind of the sleeve hang out. It's nifty. I like it. It's neat. It kind of hinders him from arm straight up. I don't want to get on it too much because the glue sort of came loose right here. Elbows, hinge and swivel, but you're only going to get about that much. Now compared to the first Tyrion, the first one could get about 90 degrees, almost. But the sleeves on the new one is a little bit thicker, a little bit more circumference to it. So it just blocks. And the same thing with this. It was turned around backwards. I had to turn it around, then turn the hand around. Swivel wrist, hinge, back and forth. Hips are hinge and swivel, peg 90. So you get forward. The skirt is pretty soft. You're not going to get full all the way up sitting position, but still pretty good. Knees are hinge and swivel. And then the feet hinge, swivel, angled forward, so you get some ankle tilt. So for a fairly small figure, it's pretty good articulation. Oh, and the waist swivels, and then it has forward and back. That's nifty. Paint. Paint is... When I found Tyrion at Walgreens, there was 4 of them, along with Hound, Jon Snow, and somebody else. And out of the 4 Tyrions, this is the only one that when I look for paint apps, it's mostly, especially on unmasked characters, I look for face paint, eyes, hair, and then they have like a stubble effect going on here. 2 of them had splotches on the side of his face, and the third one, his hair seemed like it was glued on wrong. It was back a little bit, so his hairline was really high. So I was glad to find one. Now when I opened it up, there's some black, oily looking right here on the shoulders. When I started moving them around, the paint kind of chipped on the red right here, and then the paint chipped completely off at the elbow. I don't know if you can see this, but right here, it's just the clear plastic. There was black there. Not anymore. The same with the wrist. It's chipped off there, and then it's the same with the knee. It's just completely wiped off the joint there. There's not a lot of contrast. I guess these are supposed to be this ornamental, intricate design here on this tunic. It's supposed to be painted. I haven't actually checked reference, but I would guess it'd be painted. It's kind of iffy, but it's hard to tell. It's subtle. The biggest thing I noticed, especially when I pulled out the first Tyrion has like a dry brush of gray on all his black parts. I like it. It brings out the detail. It's not just straight up black. This Tyrion, it's pretty much just flat black, which not a terrible thing. Looks good, and maybe he's supposed to be clean. So I'm okay with that. The belt, nice and flexible. He comes with this, and I can't remember if it's it's been so long since I've watched whatever season it was with the dagger, but he comes with this. It's fairly stiff and it's straight. It comes in the package. It comes in the sheath, so it's fairly undamaged. It's nicely painted, and it goes right in his hand. Not bad at all. He's kind of a bear to stand every now and then. Here he is compared with Snow. These are the only loose ones I have. I was going to pick up a Hound for, to open. And when I realized there were more Tyrions behind him, I picked out, that's where I found the good one. and completely forgot to pick up the hound. It was awesome. As I drove away, I thought, well, crap. And I know for a fact the hound's already gone because I know the guy that picked up the other one. So, snow and yeah, these are the only ones I have loose. One thing I did notice though, here on the packages are exactly the same. Or the package for this Tyrion is exactly the same as the first Tyrion. The only difference is this logo right here. And I think I've read online that the new shipments have this new Legacy Collection logo instead of the straight up Funko logo. So that may be a way of telling new run. This is the original I ordered off Barnes & Noble for the WAF, and been afraid because of, everybody talking about breakage and all that. This Tyrion was from the second run that I got. Was graciously given by a Fwoosher, and no articulation problems, and it's the same with new Tyrion. I didn't have, except for the joints being tight as hell. I haven't had a problem at all with even feeling like it's gonna break. So the colors are nice. I may repaint the face. I also picked the one with the best eyes, but I'd like to see the beard punched in better, and not so much black wash on the hair. It's a toss up. There's no wash on the first Tyrion's hair, and it's kind of flat looking, and then went black with the second Tyrion, or third if you count the San Diego one, but it's a little too heavy, kind of comic book looking. So, but once I paint his face, I'll have to paint Snow's face, and then whoever I buy after that. I already fell down that hole thanks to Veebs with Star Wars Black, so I'll be repainting many a face, I guess, in the next year. But yeah, $16.99 at Walgreens, which is a good deal, unless you order them sight unseen off Amazon. So if you want to pick it out, I'd start stalking Walgreens, which I still will, thanks to the prototype Boba Fett and Agent Venom. So pick him up. He's a good figure. I recommend him, especially if you're wanting I won't say better Tyrion, a different Tyrion. How's that? You can't have enough Tyrions. So thanks for watching, and subscribe if you feel like it. Comment below. Visit the Fwoosh.